Hello and welcome to Zach's and the City. We are back with another great episode today. How you feeling, Zach?
Feeling great.
Let's cue the music.
So Zach,
Yeah.
so since our last time, we did the podcast, consecutively, let's say. I don't know if you were into biking. Were you yet in 2023?
Back in the day.
Or did you just have your eBay Kleinanzeigen bike?
I just had my eBay Kleinanzeigen bike,
So now you are like addicted to biking?
I'm addicted. Yeah, it's inevitable at this point. I was always running, and there's always like the old joke that runners get injured at some point and then just turn into bikers. And it kind of happened to me. That was, what was that, 2023 in April. I was training for a marathon in Vienna, and I kind of got hurt and couldn't run as much, but I could bike without any pain. So I was biking more and more with my crappy little eBay Kleinanzeigen bike, and then kind of got sick of that and got like a good bike.
Bike. And then, so you got a good bike. We don't have to name names, but, well, you can. Do you want to let the people know what type of bike you got?
I got a gravel bike, Canyon Grizzle. Aluminum.
Grizzle.
It gets the job done.
Nice. I still have an eBay Kleinanzeigen bike. I'm not professional yet. And it's only 4 gears. And in Stuttgart, it's a lot of hills. And when you only have a bike that has 4 gears, it sucks.
Yeah.
I can say that. If you're in Stuttgart or in a hilly city, get a bike with more than 4 gears. Like when people say the gears, is that also referring to speed? You know how when you hear like, oh, it's a 12 speed?
Yeah.
Or like, so is that just meaning the gear amounts? Like it's 12 gears?
Yeah, it's usually like the combination.
Yeah.
So like it's like a 12 speed would be like 2 gears in the front that you can shift between, a big one and a small one, and then 6 in the back. So because you have 2 in the front times 6 in the back, there's 12 different like possible accommodations. That's why we call it 12 speed.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
But you recently just got done with the project.
Yeah.
Right? Do you want to express these people what you did?
Sure. This is exclusive podcast content right now because I actually...
Oh, wait, you want to film?
I'll still talk about it. It's fine.
All right.
You guys are getting a sneak peek at what's to come. Yeah. I filmed basically me building up a bike. So I bought like a frame and all the components and then built the whole thing, and I filmed it all.
From scratch. Like this dude, like piece by piece. From the wires to the tires to the frame to the handlebars.
Yeah.
Every little piece he built.
Just so I got everything just so I like it. Yeah. So I bought all the stuff separate. It took like a couple weeks to get everything there, and the frame was kind of a back and forth. I ended up ordering a frame and didn't like it, sent it back, ordered a different one. But I ended up getting everything I wanted. Pretty decent prices on most of the stuff.
He got a bargain for his. You got a bargain on your brake lines or whatever.
My brakes, yeah. I ordered like 3 sets of brake lines, and they somehow mixed it up because you have like a front brake, a rear brake, and I wanted like an extra in case something happens. So I got 3. Thought 3 is a good number of brake lines to have. And then I just the package came in the mail, and there was just 51 brake lines, and I was like, I don't know how they how they got from 3 to 51. Yeah, so if anyone's like looking for some Campagnolo mechanical rim brake lines, I got a lot of them.
Hey, it was a deal. Buy 2 get 50 free.
Exactly.
Even though you only need them like do you ever need them after you
every couple of years maybe you can replace them?
Maybe.
I don't know. You don't really. It's not like a regular thing.
So you might have like over a lifetime.
Yeah, I'm
of
set.
Brake.
I can ride that bike
lines.
for
crazy
70 years, and I'll probably be good on brake.
Crazy. Yeah, maybe I should get into biking. I don't know. It's definitely
BMX. Yeah, I can see you
yeah,
rocking
BMX.
rocking the
I'm more of
BMX.
like a extreme sport athlete, I would say. I tend to lead towards those things. Actually, not always, but like when it comes to like a bike, I'd rather be out in the trails than on the road.
Yeah.
Or if it's skiing or snowboarding, I like to be on the park sometimes, or doing backcountry, a little more thrilling.
Yeah.
That's just like my style of play when it comes to those things. But I do love basketball. I still play normal sports too. Not normal. It's kind of weird wording. I do play like other sports that are not extreme sports.
Yeah. I mean, basketball's pretty extreme, compared to water jogging or something.
Yeah.
It's all relative.
True. But I'm sure the people are excited to see your videos about this bike, what the bike looks like. We didn't give out too much information. So the rest they can find on your page once you post your bike, and maybe it will influence others to like try build their own bike, because it seems
if I
pretty
can do
cool.
it, anyone can do it.
I don't think I could do it, but I think I would mess something up, dude. I would break something that makes it way, way, way too expensive. But that's cool. That's cool. You know what we should do?
What?
As like it's just a thought, because I have like the topics on my phone. I don't know if this would be interesting, but if we put up like a whiteboard or something, and then we just like could have the topics there for the podcast, just like a subtitle, and we look at it. Oh yeah, we move into that.
You got it. Yeah, that could be an idea.
It could be like cool.
Yeah. Do the whiteboard. We could also like do use it for visuals. Like we could draw.
Yeah.
If we're telling a really complicated story. We could draw a visual aid to help show.
Yeah, or anything. We can do like, it could be pretty good.
Get a whiteboard for the podcast studio here. Yeah,
coming soon to the podcast. So I have another thing I can talk about.
All right.
It's not staticky, is it? Or is
no,
it
you're
okay?
good.
All right. Just set that down right there. I just want to explain something, because the last video I posted, it got a lot of comments.
Yeah.
Decent amount of likes, but a lot of comments, and it's about the one where I'm talking about apartments and landlords, saying like, what do landlords even do here? And a lot of people just referred everything to a furnished apartment.
Yeah. And
I think that's where, like, I'm talking about unfurnished, like, to me, especially where I come from. I accept like how they do it here in Germany, but sometimes it's just like, well, what does a landlord even do? Because like having blinds, shades, whatever on the windows, apartment coming with light fixtures, and a kitchen is still considered an unfurnished apartment.
Yeah.
That's still like, so a furnished would be obviously with the couch, a bed, whatever. It doesn't have to come with any of that. And a lot of people also were like, well, I want my own lights, I want my own blah, blah, blah. But I think there's a difference between our thoughts process. After like thinking about this, I think, a lot more people, they rent here to live, like maybe also for like 10 to 30 years they could be living in the same apartment. And with my vision, that's not like, I don't know, I don't know if I'm like spoiled, let's say. I try not to sound like crazy or let's say I don't know, but like in the US, in Michigan, I shouldn't say the US because US is huge. In Michigan, where I come from, it's a lot more affordable than here to buy. And so when I would say, like, if I want my own light fixtures, my own whatever, I would wait until I buy a house to make something that I want myself. But while I rent, I don't really care. Yeah.
And at least, like, it's nice, if you want your own light fixture, you can take the lights out and put your own thing in. But it's nice to have, like, something in the apartment.
Even if you're renting in the US and it comes with a light fixture, you can still replace it. I mean, if you want to pay that extra. But most people, I think, would say, like, why would I waste my money on a light when I'm just renting.
I mean, same thing with like even painting the walls here. Like everybody paints the walls of like rental apartments. Like they paint them when they move in, they paint them when they move out, and then the next guy who moves in paints them again when he moves. Like it's.
But I also feel like since we have to do all this stuff, like the lights and stuff, it also gives the landlord more leverage to blame on us. Yeah. Because like, let's say, I don't know, the wires in there are not working. Well, they'll be like, well, you're the one who put the light in, and you're the one that messed up the wires. Yeah. So it's your fault, not the apartment's fault. Yeah. It's because you did. It's like, because when you like take a light fixture, I'm pointing up. You guys probably can't see it, but there's a light above here that we had to put in. Yeah. It was just like live wires hanging. It's just wires. Yeah. You know, we had to do the like whatever the wire fixing into the ceiling light, whatever. Yeah. And I just feel like they have a lot of leverage to blame on us. Yeah. Same in the kitchen. Like we have to. When I say we have to buy kitchen, I'm not talking about a fridge and a microwave. Like, yeah, we had to buy that. But we're talking about cupboards, just having like a counter, a counter, all the cupboards, drawers. Like, it's literally just an empty room. Yeah. You got like a little water thing on the wall to hook up the sink to. That people, like, this of buying, like, apartments not coming with a kitchen, people rent their kitchen. Yeah. Like they like will get a lease on a kitchen, not a lease, but they'll get like a rental contract on a kitchen from like some company that just rents out kitchens. They'll come, whatever. Which, I mean, I'd never looked into it, but I assume it's pretty expensive probably. Yeah. But it's just like, yeah, anything that like, I don't know, if you have a problem with your faucet, it's on you. It's not on the landlord. Yeah. So they just sit back and like, you're the one who put the kitchen in, man. And it's like, yeah, and everyone's like, oh, well, what if I want to choose what kind of kitchen I get? It's like, I guess you can, but like really, realistically, what percent of people are actually building their own kitchen, right? Like almost everybody just takes whatever the last guy had and buys it from him because he doesn't want to like worry about tearing out this kitchen and moving it somewhere. And what is he gonna do? You don't want to worry about getting your own kitchen, right? Like if you try to order like a kitchen that with cupboards and stuff that are cut to fit into your space, that takes like months. You know, you're not going to live without a kitchen counter for 3 months or whatever, however long it takes. So everybody just buys whatever's in there anyway. So you're not really like I've never had to, I've never gotten able to choose like stuff for my apartment except I guess the light fixture. Which ended up being like bad, but I don't like this one. This light sucks. It makes a weird noise. It like makes that like, what's the deal with that? I don't know. I don't like this light fixture. But other than that, everything else we just kept. Like we kept the same blinds from the last guys. Yeah. The lighting in like the bedrooms and stuff was from them. Yeah. Like the kitchen is from We had to buy it all from the previous person because like, I mean, I really, as I'm renting, I don't care what my light fixture in my room looks like. Like as long as it gives light, I care less. It's too much. Like during the moving process, it's just like too much to decide. Yeah. Like you're so worried about just choosing like an apartment to move into at all, and then the actual move itself is super stressful. Yeah. And then like you just want to like get in there and just have lights that work. Like that can be I want to choose like maybe in 3 months or whatever. If I decide I don't like the light, then I can change it. I don't want to have to like choose it right when I'm moving in when I already have like a million other things to worry about. Yeah. And then like the whole point is like, oh yeah, you got to find a company to do the electric and whatever. Yeah. So that works actually a lot different in the US. Like the electric companies sell to other companies that publish prices for the electric and gas. While in the US, we only like certain electric companies own certain areas. So a lot of like a lot of Detroit is DTE Energy. Yeah. And you'll only be able to get it through DTE Energy. Yeah. And then like where I'm from, near Grand Rapids, it's Consumers Energy. So you can only get it from consumers. And people are like, yeah, but then they like raise prices and stuff and whatever. And but I think there are laws against it for I never did a little comparison, but I don't think it's as bad as you think. Yeah. I do think it's cheaper here. I've heard
I've just like talked to my parents a little bit about like electric prices and stuff, and they were surprised at how little I was paying.
Yeah.
So
I think it is
cheaper here, but yeah, there is like some.
But then
kind
it's
of
like inflation.
legal...
It's like everything. It's like eggs are more expensive in the U.S.
Yeah.
It's just like things are. I would say just like in general, except when it comes to a lot of times real estate. I think like majority U.S. real estate is cheaper than here. It's pretty expensive. If we were to buy this whole apartment, that's expensive.
Oh yeah, it's. I mean, I think any decent sized apartment in Stuttgart, you're probably not getting out of there for like less than $500,000. It's
crazy.
For like just an apartment, like nothing huge. Like
and we're not talking. We're not saying like. I mean, a lot of people will bring up like, well, look at California, New York, whatever, and it's like I would say those are like outliers compared to a lot of the U.S.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 50 states. There's a lot of land.
Yeah.
You want a really cheap house? I'm sure in North Dakota you can get a really cheap house.
Yeah, that's always the thing.
I mean, same here. If you want to get something somewhere in like, I guess like South might be more expensive, but I don't know.
But anywhere you're far from a major city, where you're just kind of in the middle, like in a small little dwarf somewhere, it's gonna be cheap. But like, it's cheap because there's no jobs there. Like you can't. It's cheap because like the people there, earn less because there's no big companies and there's not really, and it's like, sure you can, I guess if you're retired, you can move wherever you want where it's really cheap. But if you're not retired and you need to find a job, then like there's kind of a limit to like the places you can move to, because there's not just going to be good paying jobs in every tiny little dwarf.
Yeah. So just to like clear things up with that video, I didn't mean, I mean, I know that you can get a furnished apartment, but it's really expensive, and I'd rather choose my own bed. Let's say.
There's a difference between a bed and a kitchen counter
and a light fixture. Like, I mean, I could care less what my lights look like as long as it produce lights. I could care less about how my kitchen is. And we had to pay for it. I mean, bought our kitchen, so we gotta sell it when we leave here. We gotta sell the kitchen and hope the other person buys it. Otherwise,
what are we gonna do with the kitchen?
My kitchen in my new apartment is definitely not gonna be those exact measurements as
We're
this
done
one.
For. Like we have to take that kitchen with us. It's over. I don't know. I'm gonna be like begging people on the street to take it. It's like, do you need a fridge?
Yeah.
Like I don't know what else to do with this stuff.
For real, it's like when kitchens
how do you
are
sell
made,
a kitchen? Like, do they have that? Can you just go on eBay Kleinanzeigen?
Kitchen for sale.
Kitchen, just a whole kitchen.
Yeah.
That's rough. I don't know if I could just go to the flea market with just a fridge and be like, hey, can you guys just sell this to someone?
All our light fixtures that we don't want.
The blinds that are like cut to fit our specific windows. We just have a bunch of random blinds. Like, hey, anybody need these? Anybody have windows that are exactly this size?
We are in an Altbau, so the like nothing here is straight, dude.
Yeah,
it's like slanted. It's like, I sometimes feel like I'm living in Smurfville. Just feels like it's Smurfville.
Just a little, the ceiling is just a little.
Yeah,
it's not quite straight, but it's kind of nice. It had some charm.
I think
that surprised my family when they came to visit. Like that, all the buildings here, they're just kind of not really straight. Like you see it, like. In the stairwell, you always notice it. Like the walls are just where they're curved. They're kind of like just have some bumps and.
Sometimes I almost hit my head on it. I can't. You really sometimes hit your head. Sometimes.
Oh yeah. That was.
Sometimes those ceilings are low or they like slant down and just it's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right.
So we're like planning a little get together, a little shindig, if you will, at our apartment. Coming up, and by the time this podcast is live, it'll probably be over. But
already,
we're working on it. And I don't know if you've ever like planned like a party in Germany, but I feel like it's also just like different than in the U.S. Like just a birthday party or at someone's place.
Yeah.
Like for one, they just plan it so far in advance here. Like I think I sent out like the first like WhatsApp group invite thing. Like maybe like it was probably less than a month in advance, but it was a good like. Over 3 weeks in advance, which for me is like solid, right? Like, if you tell me like, oh, what are you doing on a Saturday
that's
night?
Like a whole year
in
away.
3 weeks. I'm never thinking that far out unless I have like concert tickets or something. I don't plan stuff that far out in advance.
Yeah.
But here, like a lot of people do. Like you'll send it out to be like, oh, like, oh my, you should have like told me sooner. Like, I just booked a trip to go to like wherever. Like, it's like if you don't like lock these people in like 8 weeks in advance, they're gonna just like, jump on the train and go to Paris or whatever for the weekend. Like, they just like plan random stuff. So you
or they have nothing, but it's just too soon.
It's just
like
too soon.
Only 3 weeks. I have nothing going on that weekend, but I just know I can't do it with this short notice. It's just, my mind's just not prepared for it.
You need a month,
notice.
four business weeks, mental time to prepare for a it's always interesting.
Nice.
But I've learned,
and so that's why you put out the invite.
I still should have done it earlier, but I've also learned that Saturdays are better than Fridays for parties, guys.
Okay.
People
noted. I'll take
tired
that
from
next
work.
time I want to have a party. I'll make sure Saturday is better for Deutschers.
Because Friday everyone's like at work and then they're tired and then they like maybe they go out for drinks like after work on Friday, but then they go home and they want to chill. Like
because Fridays, they Feierabend, a little Bierchen. Germans love their Bierchens on Fridays. Abend. So you can't disturb them from their Bierchen with their Kollega Dieter and Ingrid.
Exactly.
They need to have their Bierchen with them.
That's Bierchen time. So Friday's out. Yeah. Saturday, I think it's like this mentally preparing time. On Saturday, I think it's better because they have like the day to be like, all right, I got the party at night, but I got the whole day to just do my like German stuff, stuff they do. Yep. Maybe they go out to get a Morgen Brötchen. Spaziergang in the park.
Spaziergang to prepare for the night.
Exactly. And then they get there and it's a Saturday evening and
you forgot
no
one
stress.
thing. You forgot one thing.
What's that?
Before that, after the Spaziergang, they go to the grocery store because it's closed on Sunday. They have to get their stuff for the next day. Yeah. Probably Leberwurst and some frozen Brötchen so they can put it in the oven after a night of drinking.
And that's why you can't do the party on Friday because Saturday is grocery store day. So if you do the party on Friday, they're just going to be sitting there at your party the whole time thinking like, I got to go to the grocery store tomorrow. What do I get? Do I need Leberwurst? Well, I don't know what's in my fridge.
Yeah.
And so Saturday they can go to the grocery store during the day. And then they're just their mind is clear. Like they don't have the stress of what am I going to eat? What am I, the grocery shopping is done. And they can just go ready. Firing,
They're ready. They got their Brötchen for the morning, their Maldeschla for the evening. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah.
The other tricky thing is the playlist. What kind of music you're going to play.
Yeah.
So you're not on board with the techno music.
I hate techno. Techno's the worst music out there. Even though it like comes from Detroit, like there's a saying that like Detroit is like the start of techno, you know, and everything and whatever. But dude, techno is not. I never heard techno in the US. I've heard house, EDM. Yeah. There's a difference than Berlin Tresor techno where it's like take your clothes off and between like Avicii who is EDM house.
Yeah, no, it's similar. I feel like people know what you mean when you say like techno, but it's like
I don't like it.
I can't take you anywhere. I can't invite you anywhere because every time I'm like, hey, you want to like there's like this club that just opened or this party, like you want to go to this thing. And you're always like, what kind of music they're going to be? And I'm like, it'll probably be, a mix of everything. It'll be like some pop music. And I think they'll play a little bit of everything. But then you always know. You're like, no, it's going to be techno.
No, it's going to be techno. It's going to be techno. Yeah, they love techno here. I don't know why they like it so much.
I can get it. I was like, I wasn't, at the beginning, I wasn't always so sure. I think you have to have like a couple of good nights where you're like with the right kind of people and you just get the vibe. But it's very introverted, I will say.
You don't talk.
You don't talk. You don't really like even dance with anyone.
You're a loner in your own circle, just dancing, and then you're just like.
Yeah, exactly. But it's kind of like if you get into it, it's kind of like a vibe. Like I can with it for like the atmosphere is right. I can get into it. But yeah, it's very like if you're not used to it. It's not like a social thing. It's like you go to the dance where it's like you're in the zone. Like I'm ready to just like it's me and the music and no one else is even here. Like it's like a different kind of experience.
Yeah. Yeah, techno's not for me. But, they love party Schlager. They'll say they don't.
The party slug? Or?
If it's at a party and someone plays it, you know, they're all going to be screaming the words.
Yeah, that's true.
But you can also, I mean, there was like, I remember that one time we played, what song was it? We had a party, or you had a party at your old apartment.
Yeah.
And I was playing something. And it was like I was like vibing. It was like a good. Oh, it was Two Friends Big Booty remix.
Oh yeah.
And the people hated it.
They're like, what is this?
I was like, this is good, man. This is like.
That's the difference between house and techno. So
yeah.
Like Two Friends, I feel like it's kind of house.
That's
right?
house, 100%.
It's like a
house.
mix of a bunch of different there's.
It's all about big drops where it's like, boom.
Yeah. And there's like a bunch of songs. Like the one mix will be like an hour, and there'll be like 50 different songs that play. They just play like the chorus and snippets, and then
solid songs too.
And it's good. And they like mix the songs together sometimes.
And
like
they add comedy where it'll just be like a reference from the house.
A little like snippets.
Everybody stay calm. And then it goes to like a Avicii song or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fun, but yeah, it's like different. It's not the style here. It's not techno.
But you could go full American on them and play some country. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, there's some solid country songs out there.
That country is also one that I think we played that at basketball one time.
Yeah.
Because we were just like, we always played like the same, I don't know, like hip hop type mix for playing basketball. Like you always bring your speaker and we just play that in the background. And then one time we just, what was it? It was the 4th of July. And it was like, I had like an American flag headband on, and we came in there and we had the control of the radio, and so Zach just turns on just country music. That was great. And they hated it. They were like, what is this? Yeah, they're like, I think there was like 2 people that thought it was funny, and everyone else was just like trying to ignore it.
I thought it was solid, But like if you go to the US and you're just like, I don't know, like for example, we played pickleball in June. I was there in June. Yeah. And like a bunch of like, I don't know, college dudes came to the pickleball to play with them, their friends and whatever. And they turned on country. And it's like, that's what you'll find. I mean, that's like authenticity.
Especially in West Michigan,
that's West Michigan.
Around the country.
Standards are crazy. But yeah, that's quite interesting, and we got some deep thinking to do on what our music choice of the nights will be. Maybe it'll just be a whole different mix of different genres.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I'm building a playlist brick by brick here. So I got some throwbacks on there. I got a little bit of hip hop. I got a little bit of more like dancey pop music. We'll see.
You got reggaeton. You gotta add that reggaeton.
I can put a little bit on there.
Get them waist moving. Taki.
Hey, I love reggaeton. That's another one of those things. It's like I would never just like sit there and like on Spotify and go just listen to reggaeton like in my headphones ever.
Yeah.
But if it comes on at like a club and like the vibe's right, like I can jam
all
some.
Of a sudden, you're just like a salsa dancer.
It's right. It's like,
oh shoot,
where's this even coming from?
Oh shoot! I throw the Carlton, like
the Carlton. It's
crazy. No, we got it. We'll be fine. We'll let you guys know how this party goes and the failures that happen.
Exactly.
I'm sure there'll be some stories.
Next podcast will be like a hole in the wall.
Someone, just like accidentally fell into
Somebody
it.
stole our hardwood floors.
Baguette board.
It's a raccoon in the background.
Oh, no, that'd be crazy. It's gonna be fun though. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good. I got a bender. Actually, I just got a busy week next week.
Yeah.
So it'll be.
You're heading out tomorrow?
Tomorrow. I'm gone in Munich. Come back Tuesday. And then Wednesday, full day here. Then Thursday, back in Munich. Till Friday, I get back. I take a train at like 11 p.m. on Friday. Get back to Stuttgart at 1 a.m. Sleep. Go get my Brötchen, prepare myself, go on my Spaziergang, go to the Lebensmittelmarkt, grab my food for the for Sunday, and then it's our party. Or your party.
Hey.
You can't say ours because it's yours. But it's time to celebrate, but it'll be cool. It'll be cool.
I'm looking forward to it too.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But I have another topic.
Yeah.
Yesterday was kind of a sad day. Tigers lost.
Ooh, yeah.
Detroit Tigers baseball. You guys probably don't care too much about baseball. We didn't like watch too much baseball this year.
That was the first baseball game like I've watched from beginning to end in 10 years.
So Tigers made it pretty far. They're making it almost to the championship series. Baseball is weird how they do it, but it's postseason basically.
Yeah.
So after the normal season, and it's when the fun starts. So baseball is really hard to keep track of just because I think baseball, they play the most amount of games than any other sport, it feels like.
Yeah.
And they play like 118 games a year.
Yeah.
Plus,
it's
maybe
like more than even like European soccer.
I mean, how do you keep track of that? And
Yeah.
when games are at like in the evening and you're living abroad, it's like you can't even focus on that. It's like it's too much to keep track of. But when it comes to postseason, if the Tigers are in it, I'm down to watch. And they weren't. I think this was the first time since 2013.
Yeah.
So I haven't even like this is it's their first time, and I didn't watch earlier because they never made it to postseason.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna keep track of this. This is good. This is some good baseball and whatever. But yeah, unfortunately they lost in the fifth game of a series of 5. So
yeah, I mean they took them down to the wire.
Yeah,
It's
good job,
young team.
Tigers out there. So I'm looking forward to see how you guys do next year. I'll stay tuned into the postseason probably only. I don't think I can watch every game.
But I just can't believe like the Detroit sports, how everything's going off right now.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
We're loud. Detroit's loud. I mean,
Yeah.
Red Wings just started.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Red Wings played yesterday. The Tigers played yesterday, and the Lions played today.
Yeah.
So it's a full day or weekend of Detroit sports.
Mm-hmm. And it's just weird that
and
we don't.
Pistons started.
Well,
So we got all 5.
The what?
4 going.
We don't have a basketball team.
Detroit?
Yeah, there's no basketball team in Detroit.
Yeah, we don't know it.
We don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
There's football, baseball, and hockey. That's it.
Yeah, that's right. That must be like, or the Pistons. Yeah.
Yeah, NBA starts. We can support, I don't know, the Mavericks because of Dirk Nowitzki or something.
Yeah, Mavericks. Yeah. How about the Nets? Dennis Schroeder.
They have the
Brooklyn.
Nets now?
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Actually, the German team right now, the hot German team is the
Magic.
The Magic.
Orlando. You got the Wagner brothers
bros.
and then Da Silva.
Yeah.
Brazilian German. But I think he grew up here. I don't know his whole story, but yeah. But yeah, that's you just need Schroeder to get there, and then they should just move Tice. Then it's just the whole national team.
Yeah.
Just starting 5. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. Orlando do some negotiating contracts. I don't know if they would want that, but whatever. But yeah, I had another thing. We talk about like culture differences here, language differences, Deutsch, English. But I don't know if people know this, but we're from Michigan. And do you know we have like a dialect? We have like people say accent, dialect, whatever. But there's like some things where it's just like I don't think we do. I think we're pretty neutral. But then there's things we say in Michigan, and you're just like, okay, maybe that is different. All right. Like for example, we put S's on a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's never I go Kroger. I'm going Kroger's.
Yeah.
I'm going to Myers. But yeah, I don't know. Would we say Walmart's?
Walmart's.
I don't think you would say Walmart's.
I don't know about that one.
But Myers,
with like
Kroger's,
a name on it. Yeah.
We just add S's to a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's just like I think a Midwest thing or Michigander thing. But I got one for you.
Yeah.
In Michiganderian, how would you pronounce BOTH?
Both.
Do you know what we do?
No. Both.
There's
Am I doing it right now?
one more time.
Both.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
So we add Michiganderian. We add an L in it.
Oh, like
Both.
yeah,
Both. It's like BOWLTH. Both.
A little bit, yeah, both.
I'll take both.
Yeah,
I'll take both. There's like something that I was like, okay, that's the Michigan dialect. Or if you are trying to, how do I say without saying the word? If I'm trying to get to the other side of a street,
yeah,
you go
to the crosswalk.
No, you do what?
You cross. You go across.
You walk the street.
Across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of Michiganderian, or a lot of people in Michigan would say I go across. They add a ST to it. Across.
Yeah.
It's across the street.
I will say, I think I noticed that a lot more with you than like than with me. Maybe I just don't hear it when I'm talking. But you definitely have a Michigan accent, and your whole family for sure. Like, I don't know. I'm from like Southeast Michigan. That's like close to, I don't know, Ohio, Rust Belt. Maybe it's not as pronounced there, but I think West Michigan, you guys are like, it's like
another level.
Yeah, you guys, there's
across the street.
Pretty good accent over there. It almost sounds like Canadian half the time. Like I can't really tell like a Michigander from like a Canadian.
Yeah. There's just like, those are just some of the weird things. I think like I at least like where I'm from, I hear those things a lot.
Yeah,
a lot more than like if you come from, I don't know, Florida.
Yeah,
it's like, I don't know. And people, like when I did the study abroad in Berlin, I was with a lot of other Americans, none from Michigan, just like from all over, from East Side, West Side, whatever. And they all like made fun of my accent. Yeah. And like when I said like balanced, they're like balanced. And they say like our talent. They're like, it's talent. It's a talent.
Yeah.
You gotta watch your balance.
Balance. They don't say that. Balance.
I don't know how they say it, but I say balance. Whatever.
Yeah.
Challenge. It's a challenge. That was a challenge, dude. Yeah, and that's like also quite, I don't know, Midwestern. But yeah, those are just some funny things with linguistics in the U.S. There are differences when it comes down to those things. I thought it was interesting. I want to see if you would recognize across the street or both. I'll take both.
Both.
I'll take both.
I'd probably say that. I probably do both. A little bit of both.
Both of them,
a little bit of both.
So the L is just like silent in there. But yeah. And where are we at on time? We're not. I think we're. Unless you got any other topics.
No, I think if we're good on time.
I think we're solid.
Yeah.
Right now.
Got to save some for next week.
Yeah, next week you got some things to look forward to. Mm-hmm. Got a party to hear about. So
we can do it. Just the podcast in the aftermath. Nothing's cleaned up. Just.
There's
sticky
just like
floors,
cups hanging from the ceiling. Oh man, that's crazy.
We'll see. It won't be that crazy.
Yeah. So, stay tuned. Weekly podcast coming live, and you got some things to look forward to. The party. Maybe I'll talk about my events I attend next week, and videos from Zach about his new amazing bicycle.
Yes.
AKA Fahrrad. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.